Yo, yo, yo. What's up?
Hey.
So welcome to the Conversation Podcast. My name is Chukwuma Ideh, and I have two beautiful African queens with me today. Chidi Afala, Chichi.
I did.
Chichi is my very good friend. She's an actor, entrepreneur, and a lot of other things. I would let her tell you more about herself. And also, I have the elegant, the beautiful Elvira in the building.
Hey.
Elvira, am I allowed to tell that you're my lecturer in school?
Whatever, however you feel. I think we'll cross that line already. We're more friends.
wow.
Okay, so
Don't call me professor.
no. So Elvira is my professor of tech development, professor of tech things. But today we're not in class. We are in a different environment. So we're friends now, and I want to say welcome to the Conversation Podcast. So let's start with Chichi.
So my name is Chidebere Princess. Different people know me with different names, but Chidebere Princess. Since, like you said, I used to act movies back in Nigeria before I moved here. But now I work for myself. I'm a beautician. I do hair and makeup. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do for now.
Nice.
Yes.
And Elvira?
You didn't tell me I was with a celebrity.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Uh-oh.
So it's nice to be here. My name is Elvira Che. So currently I'm a trainer in tech.
Yes.
And I also do professional photography. So that's my life is around those two walls right now.
Nice. And yes, please, when she said tech, don't play. Don't play.
Okay.
This one is teaching people not just in America, people in the global world. We listen and we I think I did meet her in the field of study when I did register to take a training with Amazon, and that's like, who is this fine girl? And then they say she's from Cameroon. I'm like, you're supposed to be Nigerian, but why are we like that? We're Nigerians.
We think that anybody that is fine has to be Nigerian.
You want to do
Once you're
everything
fine, sorry, you just say, I don't know.
I was like,
There's so many other beautiful women.
why
African
you,
women that
why
are not
are you from
Nigerian.
Cameroon?
Cameroon girls are pretty girls.
They are.
Yeah.
African women are pretty women.
Yeah.
Cameroon
And we share
girls
the
are
same
fine.
borders.
We
So-
share the same.
so it's
Typically, I
like
was
when you
supposed to be
see-
Nigerian.
Yeah.
See, we
Right?
share the same
Yeah.
border, so we're very related.
Nice.
Sorta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to have you
After
here,
the
Vera.
Second World War, my country was supposed to like
Be
get
in it.
independence by joining Cameroon or
Right.
joining French
Right.
Cameroon, but we choose French Cameroon. So I always look at myself as Nigerian. So
Okay.
Nice.
the
Welcome.
entrepreneurship in me.
Okay, welcome.
So, but back to you, Chidebere. You are an entrepreneur right here in
Yes,
the US.
currently.
You literally style and make hair and other stuff that you do. This is not just a podcast; it's also a place where we get to sell our product. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so, if you are in Maryland, Washington D.C., Virginia, I'm going to put a handle, in this, video. You can please follow her, send her a DM, and go make your hair.
Yeah, we're
Boys,
hustling
take
here.
your babe to make hair.
We're hustling here, yeah.
Yeah. Then,
Hair and makeup.
yeah.
Hair and makeup.
Good. Elvira, are you going to do some free, not free, are you going to do like an independent class of Amazon? The Amazon, I did train with you at the, Amazon Skills Center.
Yeah.
Is there like a plan you doing something else off, the Amazon Skills Center?
Right now, I don't have plans to do anything off the skill center, but what I do, which I had a session this morning, I think we had a conversation about that. I have orientation sessions
Right.
that I try to pull Cameroonians right now. That's the only community I have.
Siam.
But then, if I have a community in Nigeria, I can bring them together, have that first orientation class
Right.
with them, and really give them the importance of getting to technology and the opportunities within that field. But maybe in the future I'll have something of my own. I don't know yet.
So I'm going to take it upon myself to create a few Nigerian community where we can come have that orientation, section with you, especially people that have not. I think I have done the first 1, 2, 3 basics of AWS, and that's like what they call it, the develop.
So it's the foundation.
The foundation, yes. I've taken the cloud practitioner.
Yeah.
You know, I've taken that, and I think it's very important for a lot of people to go into tech and explore that part because the world is changing. So we'll come back to that. But please, once again, welcome to the Conversation Podcast. And the reason for me inviting the two of you to come talk to me is about immigration. We've been an immigrant. I'm from Nigeria. She's Nigerian. You're Cameroonian.
Yeah.
We're Africans, right? And I want to believe that something took us away from our homes. Why you laugh like that?
Because it's okay. Go ahead.
Something took us away from
Yeah,
home.
absolutely.
Right? And that thing that took us away from home is we trying to find greener pasture,
Absolutely.
you know. And for me, when I packed my bag and I said I was leaving, a lot of things had happened before I said I was leaving. So I left impromptu without a plan. And then I came here. I went through a lot trying to find my feet here. And those memories keep hitting me every day. And I thank God for grace that I've been able to finally find my feet here, settled, and I'm doing really great. But I feel for the other boy or the next girl or the next African, not Nigeria. This is about not me being Nigeria. This is about us as Africans, as immigrants who've left home for whatever reason, coming here. And I can't imagine the next African boy or girl who takes their bag out of frustration the way I did and leave home to come to America or anywhere in the world, maybe any other country where you can find opportunity. But we were we were given visas or however we found ourselves here. And we came to the best country in the world, argue with the ancestors. And we came here and I went through what I went through. And again, I can't imagine another next boy or the next girl to face what I faced. To get you listened up, I'll just give you a summary of what I faced. Okay. So you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
So when I left Nigeria, I was really doing great. So I wasn't broke back at home. It wasn't because I was broke. It wasn't because I was jobless. I had, if you call, humbleness, if you mention some of the few filmmakers who are really doing great, my name will be somewhere. In fact, before I left Nigeria, I just released one of the biggest film ever done by a Nigerian called Pillars of Africa. I had Akim K. Kazim, who is a Hollywood actor. The guy was in Pirates of the Caribbean, 24, and a lot of other films, Troy, and I casted him in my film. Flew him to Nigeria. He came to do my film. So we shot the film, edited the film, released the film into the cinemas. And that wasn't my first film. That's like the number 40 at that time in my film catalogs. And right after that, I had another film called The Rise of Igbinogu. And after that, I had another film called Papa Betty. So I just released Pillars of Africa in the cinema. And then I sat down. I wasn't just feeling myself anymore. So I didn't even wait to release Papa Betty and The Rise of Igbinogu at the cinema. I knew I needed to leave that country. So I was great. A full production studio.
So what was the thing?
I'm going there.
Because I'm so eager to.
Yeah, a full production studio with over 20 staffs under payroll. Editors, filmmakers, directors. I had a radio station.
Wow.
And then I said I was leaving. Online radio station, yeah?
Yeah.
In my production house, we have the editing studio, the shooting studio, the radio studio, the editing studio, the recording studio. It was it's still in Nigeria. I locked it for like 2 years before I opened it back and employed some people like so we could work remotely.
Yeah.
But that was the setup I have. Before I left, I built a house. The street was named after me. I moved out of the house, gave it to my parents, and I packed one bag and I left. Why did I leave?
Was it Chukwuma Street?
Yes, Innocent Ideh close actually. Somewhere in Aja, not in the bush. Aja, Lagos, Nigeria. And why did I leave? That's the question. If I had all of these things, why
Yeah.
did I leave? So, considering the fact that there was so much going on in that country, no adequate water supply, no adequate electricity, bad roads, everything terrible, there was this connection you have with Nigeria as a Nigerian, the love for your country. So I was stuck there, investing every money that I was making, reinvesting, not making the money back. But we were hoping everything would be, the politicians are crazy, they're stealing, everything is bad. But something was going wrong at that time. The NSAS movement started because the police were killing young people. So that's where me and my friends, we said, you know what? We were going to protest.
Yeah.
And so we started protesting. So for like everybody in the world heard about NSAS.
NSAS, yeah.
So it was me and my friends that started NSAS. And a few days later, the president ordered the military to come and shoot people at the toll gate. And people were shot. Now, the truth is, I don't know how many people died
Yeah.
because I don't have that account. But I can tell you that I took over 30 people to the hospital. I donated blood. I paid hospital bill. I had people do surgeries, real bullets taken out of them. And the BBC, the CNN, and a lot of other media organizations interviewed me. Guess what happened? The day I was going to the hospital to check somebody, the military came, arrested me on the road, and went to detain me. And I was tortured. And they were asking me, where's all the people you took to the hospital? They kept me outside on the floor, asked me to be looking at the sunlight for hours.
What?
Yep, that was Nigeria, my country. So why they were doing this,
Wow.
they already manipulated the blogs to say that I said I didn't see any dead body. Then the youths that I was fighting for started threatening my life, saying, how dare me say I didn't kill anybody? So the government had me in detention. The young youth people were trying to kill me. So after going through all of these, they released me, took me home, and said, we know where you live now. Talk, we'll come and pick you up. So mentally, I was sad. Emotionally, I was down. I was devastated. When my film came out, it was being sabotaged. That's when I knew I needed to leave. So I left Nigeria with nothing, left everything. But the truth is, that's not even why I was sad. Because getting here, there was no plan. I didn't know where to start from. And I think that's what this meeting is about. When I got to Nigeria, I didn't have a blueprint. So when I got to America, I didn't have a blueprint. So this conversation we're having now is about, at the end of this conversation, where we tell all our stories of how we got here, I want us to be able to give a blueprint to the next person who will come here. If I had a blueprint when I was coming to America, it would have been easier. So when I came here, I only had a visa, B1, B2. I landed, there was no house, there was no friend. So I needed to survive. Just to summarize the story, I was trying to bring, I was always trying to bring money from home. Like, I'm in America, why am I always bringing money from home? So I started looking for a job. But of course, you don't have social security, you don't have work permit. And that's when I met a fellow Nigerian who said, don't worry, I'll give you my DoorDash so you can drive and make money. And he gave me his DoorDash. I started driving. And I made $2,700. This boy did not give me the money because the money was being paid into his account.
Yeah.
It was his DoorDash. I was begging him. I said, just give me money to pay my rent. He refused. So I was kicked out. So the car I was driving was a rental. And I've been kicked out of my house because I couldn't pay rent. And he took the DoorDash back. Then another friend in Atlanta set up another DoorDash for me. So at this point, I was homeless. So I started looking for a house. But good thing in America, somebody helped me got tax ID. So in state of Maryland or Virginia, you can rent a house with a tax ID. So I started looking for a house, and I've got an apartment. But at that time, the apartment wasn't ready, so you had to wait for like 2 months. So at some point in America, I was sleeping in my rental car somewhere in Washington, D.C. every night. I slept on the road for 2 months. For 2 months. I was sleeping, waking up to drive, make money at night. I would go and park beside McDonald's in D.C. And that's where I would sleep in the car. And then I started praying. All the while I slept in the car, I was praying. I said, God, I don't know what's going on. So imagine from where I was coming from to somebody who was sleeping in a car. But how my story changed and how the narrative changed, how my life changed, that's the conversation for another day. But the point is, what could I have done? Or is there something I would have done when I arriving here? What could I have done differently for life to have been a little bit much more easier? The guy who took the 2007 from DoorDash, I'm still praying for him. If I see him today, I'll probably give him money. Because I really don't need that much, $2,700. I really don't need it anymore. But at that point, that was a very, very important. Do you know how many hours I had to drive every day to make 2,700 on DoorDash? I worked for that money for 3 weeks, and I was driving minimum 14 hours every day.
That's sad.
I mean, we said, what should you have done? Like, the best thing is if you come here, you meet people that are great, that can help you, and that have been in your shoes.
Right.
But most people that you come here, you meet your people, they are the ones that have their legs on your neck. You know, they're not helping each other. And that's the problem, you know?
What was your landing experience here like?
You know, that's when you first asked that question and I laughed. You know, it just made me realize that everybody comes to this country like for like different reasons. Like mine is a total different reason from what yours was, you know? It's like, okay, basically I came here based on a fiance visa.
Right.
You know, if you know what a K1 visa is, you know, you come in as a fiance. And going back to Nigeria, before I came here, I had already spent almost 5 years working my ass off and trying to build a small career in Nigeria, which I was like pretty much getting there, you know? And then this opportunity to come to this country came. And, you know, the greener pasture, whatever. And I'm like, should I leave this thing that I'm doing here and move to a country that I've never been to? I'd never been to America. At least you've been to America before you.
Yeah, I've been here like
right?
3-4 times.
See, I've never been here. So it's like a whole switch. So, but the great thing was I was moving with my son, you know? That was one of the biggest motivations for me to move. You know, back in Nigeria, I was hustling, so I didn't even get to be a mother. So when I got the chance to come here, I knew that I was going to have to like focus and be a mom to my son. So when I had the opportunity, I didn't even think twice, you know. And I moved here, and when you move to a country with your child, with a little child, it's not like you can, like imagine you going through what you went through and you had a kid with you.
Yeah.
That was exactly me. You know, I've been homeless too, but no, I never slept in a car. You know, yours was worse. I was so, you know, a little bit blessed that I had like, you know, people that would help me here and there. But like it was a lot, you know, coming here and having a child. But like it's so overwhelming to think about. And now I'm where I am, and it's just been a very
But what could have possibly gone wrong with your fiance?
Yes, so let's talk about that part because like I switch because I'm thinking about it in my head like okay here. Okay, so like when you come in here with a K1 visa, you have like it's like a 3 months visa.
Right.
So you have 90 days to
Leave.
to get married
Okay.
to that person.
Right.
It's a very, very personal, sensitive conversation for me
Right.
that I don't really like to go into. I would not, but it's
Don't touch areas you don't want to touch.
yes,
It's fine.
so
yeah.
it's like you had to marry in
90 days.
90 days. And, the idea of, when you're moving here, you don't understand. Like when you're telling people that are back home that this place is tough, they don't understand until you come. Because when you were talking, I was like, damn, why is it that everybody has,
The same story.
something? I'm like, wow, that this country does to you. So when I moved here, I had to marry in 90 days, which I did, but it was annulled. So, it wasn't valid. So it's like, it was a whole different, I was homeless as well with my son, but I had someone, I got a place, I got a job. I mean, before I even started my own business, I was doing CNA, which is a
What's
typical...
CNA?
It's like an assistant nursing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But before I came, I already heard about it. I was like, damn, it's like you're wiping people's ass, you're taking care of
Oh,
patients.
I heard about
And
that.
it's very strenuous. And when I first came, I told God, I don't want to do this thing. Like, it's not, I don't want to, But when I first came here, the first month I came, I started working in a salon. It was close to where I lived. Like that month, I started working there. And when you hear say America go humble you, that's where America go humble you really hits me.
Right.
I would come to a salon that was owned by a Nigerian, and I was like an apprentice, pretty much. They'll be treating you, and I'll be asking myself, is this me? I was washing somebody's hair one time, and the girl was like, I know you, I've seen your face. And I'm like, Jesus, I have a hair.
So watch your movie.
Yes. And I'm like, no, you wait, she said, I'm like, it's not me. And she's like, she kept quiet, and she probably was still pondering, like, is this girl? And then she's now said it again, it's you. I don't, oh, Jesus Christ. And I was like, oh my God, is this what this country has reduced me to sit down and be washing somebody's hair? And like, I would walk and give the woman 50%, like,
Wow.
yes, half.
Wow.
I would give her half, and I'll still be going. I want to, hustle out some money in a week, and, and
At least yours is even good. You are getting the money directly, and you are giving the guy. At some point, I told the guy to give me $800 for my rent.
yeah.
He didn't give me that money today.
I'm just telling you, like, our people that will just...
And he's a Nigerian.
I bet he is.
He is a Nigerian.
I bet.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
Not a Cameroonian, not a Ghanaian, not a Senegalese or South African. He is a Nigerian. Igbo Nigerian.
No, man. One thing I know in this country that I've learned is strangers, people that really don't know you.
Oh, a stranger actually, a stranger changed my life. We'll come to that.
It's not even
Yeah,
it's not even the people
you
that
know.
you
A
think that will write for
non-Nigerian
you.
stranger.
I'm telling
Let's start
you.
from there.
Yeah.
I've noticed the people that I'm not gonna not give credit to, because I've had people that have really helped me. But
Right.
the people that have really, really helped me in this country, that are people that I just met here, no ties
Yep.
from anything. But the ones that you know from home and you jam them here, they are the ones to watch. When you now land and call them on the phone,
Oh.
they will no longer pick your call. If you I left town.
Oh, yes.
I've when I first came here, I had this auntie, this family member was like, hey, if I land, I'll come and see her. 2 years. I don't see her. 2 years. Now for party, I jam her.
After 2 years.
After 2 years.
2 years.
Random. I just go Baltimore. She just show. So it's like,
In the same state.
you understand? You stay and the person is your family member or something. And
Evira, how was your homecoming?
because
Mine was a soft landing.
Oh
Hey,
God!
at least,
Give us a
I-
at
gist.
least somebody saw that is a
It
little
was. I can't say it was a sad landing. It was a soft landing.
Okay,
Okay.
Because
great.
I didn't come from Cameroon.
Okay.
I came from Germany.
Right.
So I was a student in Germany. What part was hard was a part in Germany, which was not still like super hard. I really want to, the fact that as Africans we have black tax, having our family members support us, that is what helped me out. So I went to Germany as a student doing my MBA, and after that, within that time, I first came to America for a UN conference.
Right.
So I was already in that space of, oh, this is where I want to work, right? And I came to America again, visited, and I loved it. And Germany was tough because as a student, you have just a limited amount of hours that you can work, and you have the jobs as an African who did not speak German. It resulted to cleaning already, right? So we're working at a trade fair, cleaning tables, and you go to clean the table, maybe a lady from Turkey that speaks some broken German will feel like they can intimidate you, right? You see a Syrian woman wants to be racist to you, but you all are immigrants. But because of the color of your skin,
Right.
you're that, not even second class, you become the third class citizen. So that was a tough part for me, but I still had my brother in Amsterdam that was very supportive of me. I had my sister, my cousin in Dusseldorf, that when I packed out of my apartment in Germany, I just went to her place and I stayed in her house for like 6 months. Luckily for me, there was a non-profit that started supporting me with $300, 300 euros a month. So I used that for the last 6 months before I left Germany. So when I decided to leave Germany, because I knew I could not make it there, I didn't speak German, I couldn't get the kind of job that I wanted. So I was looking for an English-speaking country. I went to UK, I didn't like it. So I'm like, America is the best choice. Cameroon, going back to Cameroon was not an option. That's when the English and the French thing started, right? 2017, 16.
Right.
So Cameroon was not an option, so I moved here. Moving here was the best for me because I already had siblings. My sister was in Maryland.
You
still in
had
Maryland.
people here.
So it was really like, that's why I call it a soft
Wow, you
landing.
lucky,
Yeah, I
man.
was lucky. I can't
I
say
have
I'm
nobody.
Likewise,
I'm
me.
the first
Okay,
person in my
but
family
barely.
to get out.
So I
Okay.
lived with my sister all along. But then the part that was hard for me was my mental state.
Right.
Because I'd already been in spaces where I saw myself, did some job with the UN, did some job with the German Armed Forces, and I already saw myself in that space, right? So I moved to America. I got my first job in TJ Maxx. They were paid. I'm sure my first salary was like $75. In the winter, I was taking the bus to go there. After a while, I came back. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I prefer to stay here, take care of my sister's kids, and clean her house, right? And go rather than go to a shop and somebody is rude to me. Then depression started setting in, right? I was like, oh my God, what do? I'll never get a job. I was looking for a job. Taking my degree from Germany, I thought it would be easier.
Easy, yeah.
But it did not happen. So I started going to therapy because I would just be in the basement all day, just drink alcohol and sleep. And it was depressing. So I took upon therapy. That's what helped me. Then I did CNA for a while. I went and looked for a job. I struggled through the practical, right? And it's not for everyone. Some people love doing it, but that's not. I could tell that was not for me.
For you, yeah.
Yes. So nursing, I love to be a nurse, but I always say nursing is a vocation and not an occupation.
Right.
Yes.
You need to be dedicated. So I went there, did the CNA thing, paid my 1.5 that I had saved for a very long time. And when I got a job, worked for 40 minutes, I was like, I don't like this. I cannot do this. So I did that job just for 40 minutes, came back home. My sister was like, you're not going to work today? I'm like, no, I'm done. So how did I find myself where I am today? I went to an Amazon warehouse, met really great Nigerians. We're working together. And we're
See,
packing
the ones
boxes.
that they will help her because she's a stranger.
Yeah.
Let it be someone that they know now.
I met great
They will not
Nigerians
help you.
that kept me company, and I was packing boxes, right? But within that space, I was like, what else is within this warehouse that can make me better? So I got that, hey, there was a learning and development department. I applied and I was taken. Like 6 months into that position, or 9 months, I applied to become a coordinator. I was taken. Then I got to that post. I was like, oh my God, this routine, this is just monotonous. I hate doing this thing. I don't use my mind. I don't use my brain. That's when I started learning AWS. So that's how I removed myself from a warehouse to the tech world. And it was self-study.
And now you're a lecturer.
I know,
amazing.
it's a lot of work that I did put in. The job is still demanding. I still need to learn a lot. Like I told you I'm on break, right? This next 2 weeks is just about studying. So as a teacher or trainer, I love to be a teacher. My original profession was history teacher. Right? I love to teach. So it's a very demanding position that I know it's continuous learning, but I think at some point, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, I'll have to leave that teaching position and just go into something stable, because it's a lot of reading.
Oh, yeah.
Because the head at some point needs the break.
The head needs a break. So I don't have a bad American story. I had a mental, I identified that I had some mental difficulties at some point, which was depression is a sad thing. It's very bad, and I accepted therapy, and I was able to.
Yeah, but look, it's actually also good that we are all not coming here to tell bad experience.
If like it was a breath of fresh air, like at least something is different from.
So it doesn't look like we'll just
came here to come and
bad people. No, I'm also glad you had a safe landing. So it means you can actually come here. This is the key thing from our own conversation. You can actually come here on a great safe landing.
Absolutely.
But there's a different challenge you will face, which is what she faced. The mental
I know
side.
someone who also, she's been here for so many years. Safe landing too. Daddy brought her, brought all her siblings. Easy. You know, and it's absolutely no immigration issues, like none.
Right.
So,
but then there's a side to it also, which
life.
dealt with life, the mental side.
Because
the truth is, we are Africans. We are coming from a place where
trauma is everywhere.
Nothing apart from the trauma. Things are done very differently.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Things are done very, very differently. There is a certain way we as Africans, we operate and we survive. When you come here, it's crazy. I'll give you a picture. In Nigeria, for instance, let's say I want to pack from my old house. One of the things that drove me crazy here was when I was packing, she knew where I was living. When I was packing from that house to this house, I realized that I have to do everything myself.
Jesus, tell me about it. Oh. Hey.
That's what I like. I miss home.
Shebi, back home, I will do my nails. I will go and do body exfoliation. I had a girl that comes cleans my, me wash clothes. Where? I was washing bathroom like this. All my nails, me.
You did it all by yourself.
See,
America will humble you.
I went to rent you all.
Pack your own stuff. You didn't call the boys from the street to help
Which? In Africa.
Like, oh, guy, you
this
need help.
Is me.
You have driver.
I'm across my leg.
Cook.
And have people do it for you.
Even people that you didn't even call for help. And you're packing. Let me help you carry this one.
All those street boys.
They will show up. So we as Africans, we show up for ourselves. But when we get here,
because it's a different.
I couldn't even call her to help me. I mean, she is one person who's
but I
been
told
my
you
friend,
that if you called me, I would have come.
No,
at
she
least.
would. But guess what? Yeah, the system has changed my mental brain that I even forgot she has. I don't pack finish you.
Yeah, individualistic culture. I do it all by myself.
Because that's what it is.
She's probably making somebody's hair. She's probably working. She needs that. Imagine I have to say, Evira, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm packing. Come on. She has classes to teach for the week. Nigga, you serious? Why?
True.
What happened? What's going on?
It's the culture. I feel like it's the culture. Even sometimes I get frustrated with America because of how people it's all about me first, and that selfishness seeps in.
Right.
Right? Because first of all, we have this limited mentality as Africans that I feel like if
Poverty, I call it poverty mentality.
It feels like if I right now where I work, the trainings that we give out are free, right?
Yeah.
And if we need to hire somebody, I want to get an African or a Cameroonian to get into that position. But then when you find other people, they're like, if I help them, then it means that they're taking something away from me.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter. Like the opportunities are
It's
everywhere. It's never finishing.
Especially when you've had, sorry to cut you,
Yeah.
especially when you've had, for me, I'm so eager to help or give my advice, and like if somebody comes here, I'll tell you, okay, oh, this is, because I know how much I went through, and it would, like, having someone who could guide you and give you like the blueprint, like you said.
The blueprint.
It's absolutely key, you know? If you don't have that, I'm sorry, you're going to be frustrated in this country. One of the things I wanted to say was, if I met someone who came to this country like me that has a child, I would tell them that there are ways you can get help, like, and not be frustrated. Like,
Right.
really, you know, this country is a country that is so much better than Nigeria.
Very well. No, say it loud. Rosie.
I'm a proud Nigerian, but honestly,
No, we are still proud,
We are still
Nigeria. We're
proud
still
of our
proud of
own
what we
countries,
are. Do you understand?
It's a country that
I
works.
love Nigeria. It's not the country, it's the people.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to be able to separate
With
it.
both of them.
Do you love Cameroon?
I do.
Of course you
I
do.
do.
You cannot change me. You have to kill me to stop me from loving Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's two different things.
Yeah, I get it.
But I hate the system.
See the way he said it with so much intensity.
The intensity, the passion.
Because
you said
the things that he's
hatred.
been through in
Yeah.
the end of the country.
system.
Yeah, it's
the
messed up.
people who are not the people, the citizens, the people who are in charge of the system, who runs the system. I hate those people. I despise them. I curse them. I curse the system. It's what it is, and it's not about Nigeria, including Cameroon.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've known one president.
Africa
all my life.
is.
That's a system.
That's why we're all jackpine.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's on the run.
Including Cameroon, including Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
The person who gave me a safe landing and changed my life in this country is from Sierra Leone. My boss. See, when I met that woman, she flipped the narrative for me overnight.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's amazing.
So I am pro-African. I'm not pro-Nigerian. I'm pro-African first.
Yeah.
Then I am from Nigeria. I'm an African. When you mean me, I'm African.
I used to say
Yeah.
that as my fun fact, and my sister said it's not fun fact. Like when they talk at work, what's the fun fact about you? I'm African.
I'm African. It's a real
Because
fact.
it is, though, because there's just something about being.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
An African changed my life. When my people let me down, an African changed my life. She flipped the narrative. And my life has never been the same again.
Yeah.
When I finally got my papers, she called the lawyer. I said, go and see this lawyer. And I met the lawyer. And in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I was fine. So, an African did that for me. So I cannot change or help the fact that I'm African. I apologize. You got to kill me to take the blackness away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
This
the
country
African
provide-
system,
Yeah.
then that's what makes us as Africans live home. What's happening in Cameroon? Please tell us.
So, sorry, before I wanted to say something very important
Yeah.
before, because I don't want to lose my train
Go
of
ahead.
thought. I was trying to say something about like the people, anybody who comes in like me, for instance, like that came with a K1 visa, that has a child or whatever. There are things like you can get help from the system. The day they gave me a visa in Nigeria, there was a paper they gave me. And the guy who gave me the paper at the embassy, he told me, I pray everything goes right for you.
Right.
But if everything doesn't go right, you have rights.
Right.
You see this paper here? every information you need is
It's
here.
there, right.
It's like your 911 call.
Right.
Nobody can make you, because he knows the visa that he gave me.
Right.
He knows how people can bring you to the country and they will frustrate you.
Right.
So he told me, but because when you come into this country, you're so scared because the culture shock, the system, everything is straightforward. You must follow the right procedure, and we're not used to that in Nigeria. We know how to cut corners. So like, what is this? Like, what the hell? You understand? But this one, everything is straight. There's no. So, like, and because of that, I was like, which one is this paper?
That's the problem. We don't read.
To even pick up the. Yes.
Africans don't read. And America is not a country you survive without reading.
You have to read.
You have
That
to
paper,
read.
I had to go and look for that paper when I needed
all
that
the
paper.
information you need is there.
I had to go because guess what? I met one lady who came like me.
Yeah.
One day, that day, you see the depression you were talking about,
Yeah.
I was frustrated. I wanted to drink bleach and die. I told my mom, I want to come back home. She said, what are you talking about? You just will. I said, Mommy, I am coming back. I used to act movies. I will go and start, I will hustle, I will do. She said, you don't know what you're talking about. Stay there. You understand? So, but that lady was a breath of fresh air. She told me, Princess, you're not going anywhere. I came like you. She stayed in a shelter. She told me, I was like, hey, shelter, which one is that? I'll carry my child and go to shelter. I don't want to, So, but she gave me informations and things that I could do. And there was a time that I moved into somewhere. They gave me furniture free. I'm doing therapy. My therapy is free. This country is paying for my therapy. I've been doing therapy since February based on the trauma and things that I've experienced. But I'm eligible for it. So it's important that they know that, what should I do? Check online. There are things.
It's there.
It's
It's
there.
all there.
That's actually
If
the
you
blueprint.
tell them, yes, that's exactly what I was trying to land at. Like, ask them. If you tell them all the things that you've been through, they'll ask you what you need. They even give you free food for your child. They'll give you a card that has maybe $300, $400 worth of food. They'll be putting money in the card every month for you and your child. Even though I don't partake in that one, but I took some things that they even offered to pay my rent at one time. Like they're paying for my therapy right now. So these are the things help that I'm telling you. That thing helped me so much. I would have lost my mind if I didn't have that. So it's possible. Don't get frustrated.
Yes.
There are ways. They help immigrants get help. It's not like a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like there are people. You know what I'm trying to say.
I do. I mean, one of the things you've said now is knowledge is power. Information is key.
Yeah.
Go and read, make research. Everything you're looking for is online.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or something you read and find. But back to the question I was asking,
Yeah.
what's happening in your country? When you say you couldn't go back home, what's happening back home?
Since 2016, Cameroon was first colonized by the Germans.
Right.
Then after the First World War, they got divided between the British and the French. As I mentioned at the start of the show, we could either get independence by joining Nigeria, so I could be an Igbo girl, right?
Okay.
Or we could either join
I wish you
Cameroon
was.
by joining.
You look like Igbo.
by joining the French Cameroon.
Right.
Okay.
So we chose French Cameroon. So Cameroon is made up of 10 regions. The English part is just 2 regions, and the French got 6. And almost everything in Cameroon is in French. So if I commit a crime in the Anglophone region, I'll be penalized under the French law, right? So 2016, teachers and lawyers, they got into the street and they were asking for equality. Some were requesting for independence of the state. So when you hear Ambazonia, right? Those Cameroonians that are requesting to be independent, to stand on their own. Some were requesting for federation. But with the government right now, everything just went left. So there was serious fighting and killings and all of those things happening in the English part of Cameroon, which I come from.
Right.
Houses were being burned, so a lot of things were happening. So till today, it's still very unsafe. At a certain point, people started getting kidnapped and all of that. So for me, that is not a safe space. There are people in this country that can never go back to Cameroon, right? Because of the comments and how they supported the fight
Right.
or the movement. So
Right.
with all of those things, I'll not to get into politics
Right,
in depth,
right.
but then the country is unstable. I've had one president for 40 years plus.
I find that
That's
so
the system
ridiculous.
I
All
was
my
talking
life,
about.
Like,
I've known
that
just
is
one
wild.
president, right? So that is it. But then to shift away from that topic and just to one thing that came to mind as we were talking about blueprints and all of that, I feel like it's very important for us to be challenged in this country.
Right.
It helps
It's
you
very
grow.
important to be challenged because that's what pushes you to do what you have to
Absolutely.
do. Because if America gets comfortable for you, you will not be able to make use of all your potentials.
We'll make
So
progress.
if you find the people who are most successful are the people who have gone through the worst things.
Right.
Wow.
Very few people.
Hey.
There are few people like younger ones that were born here or they came here very young and they got good parenting and they are good doctors and all of that.
Absolutely.
But those people that have gone through a lot in this country, I just want to say about 90% of them are super successful.
I want to believe that
Yes,
because I
yes.
believe that
Yes.
like, I feel like before we started, we were kind of talking a little bit, and I was telling you I don't think that I can even like say all the things.
Yes. There are
that-
some things
and that's why
won't-
I'm doing
yes.
therapy. You know,
Yes.
and that's why I talked about
Yes.
therapy. I was like, that's
Yes.
the reason why I'm doing therapy
Yes.
because,
It's good. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Right.
I always say vulnerability is power. And
Yes.
the moment you get, and you can be vulnerable just with yourself, not with another person.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was vulnerable with myself. I accepted that I needed to start from scratch
Right.
to build up. That's how I got to where I
So
am
so
today.
for a young Cameroonian who got lucky to get a visa, right? And escapes Cameroon to America and decide to stay, what would you as a Cameroonian, right? You had safe landing, you had families who would stick their neck out for
Yeah.
you because they were comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To some level. But an individual like myself who has nobody here, I didn't have that number to call. If I was hungry or sick, like as I was homeless, I didn't have a number to call. I didn't have that number to call. So that's the question. What will a young Cameroonian who has no number to call do when they arrive here? What type of step can they take? And I think that's the blueprint
Yeah.
that I'm trying to find out here.
Yeah.
What would you say that boy from Yaoundé or whatever the beautiful English-speaking place he comes from, or
From Bamenda.
Bamenda, and run to this place for safety because he wants a better life away from the bullshit, the stupid system is creating for them, and find his or herself here. Elvira, a successful Cameroonian who has been able to navigate the system, how do you advise them? What type of step will you advise they take?
A typical African, an average African
Right.
can read and write.
Right.
An average young person has a computer in their palm,
Yes.
right? That's their mobile phone.
Right.
I would say read.
Right.
Yes.
Read. You can just type.
Right.
Like I go on the internet and I'm like looking at opportunities for immigrants.
Right.
Like if you check my Google search, like once a year or twice a year, I click on that, I search on that. So I would say, first of all, if you don't have the number to call,
Right.
please use your cell phone
Right.
and ask for help. America is one country, even though I know that it's not all correct in every state because
Yeah.
of black people,
Yeah.
the police is mostly your friend
Right.
in this country,
Right.
right? So there are people that are going to help you, but I think you have those resources because you can read and search on your phone and like, what are the opportunities for immigrants in this country?
Yes,
So
and
you
there
want to
is.
start from there, look for help. But also, in the Cameroonian community, and in so many African communities, people don't like to help
Right.
each other.
Right.
Because they always feel like if I help you, it's
Yeah.
going to reduce
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
Right? That mentality.
Yeah.
So, but within those communities, I have a non-profit, right? And even though my non-profit is based back home, but how can I use the resources that I already have to be able to help each another person? Talk to people. 10 people are going to say no. One person is going to
It's
say
gonna
yes.
help, yeah.
Right? Talk to people and don't just remain in your circle of Cameroonians. Right? I could easily deny to come to this podcast because it's not Cameroonian. But then I'm
You're putting
instead
yourself in a box.
looking for opportunities. How can I relate with other Africans? Right? I will love Nigeria. I love Nigeria. Right? By connecting with you, it means if I want to go to Nigeria, I'll be like,
Oh, I
Chukwuma,
got you.
please, I need a connect in Nigeria.
yeah.
But we come here and we limit ourselves
Self to our people.
Yes.
We don't go out of our community. You must not seek for help from your community.
Yes.
Step out of your community.
Yes.
You will still find help.
In addition
Yeah.
to what she just said, I am a testimony of that
Yeah.
Right.
thing she said.
Yeah.
Not saying my Nigerians are bad people.
Yes.
I met a bad Nigerian who gave me his DoorDash to drive and took the money till today. And I slept on the street for 2
not
months.
funny, but it's
A
funny.
Nigerian
It's funny,
did that to me, an Igbo Nigerian. Do you get what I'm saying?
And you're Igbo, right?
I'm
Yes.
technically
You
I'm
could
Igbo.
talk
I'm
in
like
the
Edo.
dialect.
Yeah, but I can speak in their dialect. So
Yeah.
I'm saying that guy is even my brother. He did
Yes.
that to me. Do you get what I'm saying? Before him, when I first landed here and I went to Atlanta, another Nigerian who subletted a house for me because I have a health problem, right? I think that was one of my biggest problems in America. I just cannot live anywhere. I'll fall sick. I have acute sinuses. Like when it hits me to a point, my nose start bleeding. It's that bad, right? So my living environment must be healthy and clean. It doesn't matter. It's not about it being expensive.
It's about
Cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? So when you come into my house, you meet a level of tidiness because I have to survive. They have to be air. They have there's a way it has to be.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about my space. So that's why when I go here, where I would live was what really mattered to me. And this guy he rented a place for me, which I thought he owned. Later I realized that he wasn't even the owner. He said he was helping me. Meanwhile, he was charging me extra 400 because he would take the money when I go and pay the owner. Because I don't get paper to rent house.
Yeah.
He did that to me for 3 months. So I was excited that he was helping me. It was later. And that guy that owned the house, I was not doing the business with the guy because I was booking an artist from the guy. I was booking an artist. And I said, I heard you lived in my house one time. I said, which your house? He said, in Atlanta, I own the Airbnb. I said, now you get that house. I said, bros, that your Airbnb cost to? He said, no, in fact, you don't even pay me finish. I said, no, I pay you finish. Yo. He said, when you move out, you said they owe me 200. I said, no. I said, bro, you were charging me so amount, and I was paying. I said, no, I was charging you less than 4. I said, no, I was paying this amount. So he said, you were paying this amount to this guy. I said, and I paid him the full money for that 3 months. He said, well, the last money he gave me less than 200 that you moved out, you didn't pay. I said, you see, that's... Yeah. But again, like she said, if I had stuck to my people, if I had stuck on me, I mean, Nigeria, I probably would still be suffering now.
Yeah.
In fact, the day I met my boss, I went to the guy who chopped my DoorDash money. I went to draw him debt. Let me tell you this. I went to ask him for my money. I went to beg him to give me my money to pay my rent. He asked, let's go for a show. That he's going to the show, he's going to collect money that he will give me. When we got to the show, now asked me to sit down and be drinking that he's coming.
Don't tell me he disappeared.
I was like, bro, I don't come here, can't drink. I need money to pay my rent. They want to kick me. Say, wait. He was walking everywhere. So I was now sitting down looking at the show. The show was very terrible. That's when I now met a girl whose auntie happened to be the owner of the show. The girl now realized that I'm a big shot coming from where I was coming from. She now took my number. The next day she called me to come and see her auntie. That's how the auntie employed me. So I went to, at the end of the day, that guy who chopped my 2006.
Blessed you.
God bless him.
Yeah, because
God bless
every
that
disappointment
guy.
is a blessing.
That was
in
what,
disguise.
that 2006 is the payment for the role he played in my life. Yep, so it's been a very, very beautiful time talking to you beautiful women, two amazing African queens.
Thank you.
Before we leave, why we on the almost the end of this conversation, what could we, starting with you, what do you think we could do differently? Is there any like something that with the complaint of how we as Africans we are hurting ourselves, letting ourselves down? How do you think that narrative can be changed by those people who are already there here? Those people that are feeling like, oh, if I help this person, he's going to take food off my mouth. Is that narrative really true? And even if it's true, but what can we do to be able to change the narrative so people can be able to help freely? Because if you get to talk to some people too, they don't help. They too, they will tell you their own story. Oh, I've helped this person, he messed me up. That's why I will never help again.
Yeah.
I've done this for this person, they messed me up. That's why I gave this person this job, they did this. That's why I will never help again. So how do we change that?
Yeah, there are a couple of things that we can do first. I'll say first, we that were here in the States, we need to tell the reality back home.
Right.
Because we have lots of people looking to come over because they have an expectation. Right? I always say everybody has a real life and the Instagram life, right? The Instagram life is never the reality, right? It's hardly the reality. Sometimes the reality, but it's not. And for those people that are already here, I know some people don't help, as you rightly said, because they've been hurt before. And they feel like, hey, I helped a couple of people and they stabbed me in the back. I'm not going to do that again. But now, what we need to do, I always say you can love from a distance. That's the best way, especially with family.
Right.
Yeah.
You really find some families that are really, really struggling, where two siblings cannot live in the same house and all of that. Those type of people, don't help them from a distance.
Right.
You must not bring someone into your space to help them. Maybe you can give them a couple of dollars and it saves them. You give them information, you enroll them into maybe a CNA school, and they go there. Like, there are so many ways. Let's try to keep people out of our spaces first, especially the people we don't know, right? And get to know them before we bring them in. Because as African, we already know that it's in our culture, we just want to embrace everybody. The community is family. Right? Then when we get to this space, in America, it's totally different. I think there is something that just get into our minds when we get in here. Like, people just, characters
It's in
just
the water.
change.
The switch.
There's a
the water
switch.
that we drink
It's
and
the
the
water
air
that
that
we
we
drink,
breathe.
right?
Yeah,
There is
'cause-
a switch. And also, as people who are, as immigrants in this country, we should know that no matter how much you help someone, it's not going to take anything out
From
of your
you.
plate. You're in another man's country, right? I know. I don't even want to talk about the thing of remittances and all of that. And
Yeah.
all
No,
of
you gotta
that.
say it.
You know,
Somebody will walk, and from the money you walk, the person you have to give somebody.
Someone was collecting $40 on top of my head per
I
hour.
know.
Why?
They fired me because I didn't. When they fired me, I was like, I thought I was doing good in this job because they see anything that you talked
Yes.
about. I was lucky I did not wipe ass. I was always working in the administrative
Yes.
area. I was always like doing the computer. So I had this great job that I was just always in the computer. I would just come and the CNA, they would pay me. But all of a sudden, they stopped giving me hours. Like, I was like, why? I found out that the person who helped me get the job was collecting $40 on top of my head.
That's crazy.
And I,
Right. But that's what it goes back to, that fact that, hey, there is information online,
Right.
and we have computers in our hands,
Yes.
right? Don't wait for, when you come here, seek for your own information. This information that we get from little basement bars and all of that, that's not the right information.
They won't
Yes.
even share the
And they won't
information.
even share, and they want to they will give incomplete information. Go online and look for those things in your community. If in your county, look for the opportunities in your county for immigrants. If it's in your state, look for that for immigrants. Go to schools, and if you have kids, there are opportunities for kids, as you said. So many things. Churches, all of these places. When I came here, a church paid for my therapy, right? A Cameroonian brother shared that with me and said, hey, this is where I went when I came. So go there. I went to that church and they helped me out. It was not even my church. I'm a Catholic, right? But it was not a Catholic church.
Right.
But they just help people. So I'll say, get information, help people from a distance if you don't know them very well so that they don't hurt you. And also, please, let's tell the truth about what's the reality of America to our brothers and sisters back home.
Yeah.
We know we go out, we go back in December. It's dirty December, right? They're all over Africa, and they're all over Africa right now, Nigeria and Ghana. So we go back with all what we've saved and all the best designer clothes.
And you think that's how we're chilling here?
No, that's not the reality. So let's be real. So that's all I have to say.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
Let's
Like
be
you really,
honest.
I'm weak.
like when he was saying that when he asked you that question, in my head, you just read my mind. I was like, it's the expectations. Like,
Yes,
look, I wrote it down. Like, the
yeah.
expectations. Like, you have so much high expectations in these people.
Yes.
Like, you see someone, hey, this my brother that is in the US. He's going to help me. He has, my dear. If let that brother pick your call when you come, just reduce the expectations.
Yes.
Like she said, also, like, do the research for yourself.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, and we should just learn to be kind to one another. Just be kind. Like, it won't take anything
You
from
won't
you.
take anything from
It will not. Just be kind.
Yeah. And one
Dish
other
out
thing.
the information. Don't be
Yes.
holding. Let me not tell this person how I'm. Like,
Yes.
really.
And very important, I know that we come here, my grandfather will always say, we came here because we were hungry.
Yeah.
Not just hungry of food, hungry of knowledge, hungry of comfort and all of that. As immigrants, take care of yourself first. No matter what is happening back home, if you drop today, they're going to continue living. So take care of yourself while in this country, right? We have people who've died in their sleep. My cousin just died in Ohio. We don't know what happened, right? He was never sick, right? But we work so hard here that we don't seek time to rest. Then because my mother needs money, my uncle is in the hospital, all of that. They will figure it out. Take care of yourself first.
Yes.
Because you need to be healthy to take care of another person. If your cup is half full, you can't be filling another person's cup. That's
I always
not
tell
correct.
them, someone that is not standing on their feet cannot carry
another
somebody.
one in their
You
back.
stop, you're pulling me down. Let me
Yes.
stand first and
Yes.
be on my feet, then I can help you.
Please take care
You
of
know,
yourself.
that
It's super
pressure of
important.
when they see us here and they think that it's all roses.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yes.
So don't come here thinking that even the people that had the soft landing, they go like they
The landing wasn't totally soft.
Exactly.
It will still shake
They
you.
will shake you a little bit.
As long as you are an immigrant,
Yes.
it will still give you some.
Yes, because you're dealing with all the biases
Yeah.
of America. As a black woman or black person with an accent and your skin color, all of those things you're dealing with, right? Then you still need to explain why you cannot send not up to $200 to someone back home.
See, if I start going into this conversation that she's going into,
we need
problem
to
good
put
day,
yourself first.
yes.
Not that we should not help, but put yourself first. Especially if you're the first person of your family being in this country.
I am the first person. You see, when people are talking about that, I say, I just put my hand.
because
I'm folding my hand. I'm just thinking.
Yes.
Because that's a conversation I don't want to go. You know,
And I know I've seen you experience that, family thing,
yeah.
It's
my mom called me few weeks ago. No. She's been doing something, right? I love my parents. I put them in house, furnished it, I gave it to them. I send them money monthly, allowance. We as Africans, that's how we were. We must take care of our family. For a year, where did they take those people to? Those old people?
I know. Don't worry.
Nursing homes.
Yeah, that's what they send your parents to.
Elderly people.
homes. But we can't do that as Africans.
It's not in our culture.
It's not in our culture. So I had this girl I was seeing one time. And she's American. And I thought I was sending money. She said, why? Why are you sending the money that was supposed to use here to your parents? I looked.
We go on vacation.
My dear.
So you're sending our money to your parents.
You don't understand.
I looked at her. I said, guy, just leave me first.
You can't even explain.
I can't explain. But I don't blame her. That's a culture.
That's our culture.
She doesn't understand
Yes.
why I am giving my money, some of my money to my parents.
Black tax.
And
I have to give my parents.
See, let's talk about the entitlement.
So, you know, yeah, this gist.
Hey!
So, my mother now called me. No, my father, they said they've been disturbing my father, that my father has to come and pay my mother's bride price. They've been married for 50 years. These people are close to 80.
Okay.
I'm in my late 30s. And you're saying, they said my father needs to pay my mother's bride price. So I kept quiet. I didn't say anything about it. So they were making it a thing. I did not say anything. Because people wanted me to talk. I didn't say anything. So I told when my father raised, I said, I've been giving you money now. Save it and go and pay the bride price.
Excuse me.
Then one day my mother now sent me a message that please, I should support my father to pay a bride price. My mother's bride price, though, not the girl I want to marry. I've not paid the girls. I've never paid girl bride price before. I'm looking for a girl to pay a bride price.
Let me ask, why are they paying your mother's bride price?
That they didn't pay a bride price when they married
her.
her.
So they're doing bride price renewal.
Yeah. So she does. I should support. That I should support my father to go and pay a bride price.
I don't know.
I now said, Ma. I said, please.
That's funny.
You know why I like my podcast? Like I use any English I like. I said, Ma, please. Chukwuma Ideh, I am not responsible for the fuck that you and your husband have fucked for 50 years and counting.
I had children with it.
I didn't ask you to give birth to me. You decided to get married.
Oh my God.
You decided to get married and you made kids. I am not the first, I'm not the second, I'm not the third, I'm not the fourth. I'm the last born. I'm number 4. Okay. I am the last of the 4 kids. So I should come and pay a bride price of my father? I said, no. If anybody will pay that bride price, talk to my sister, who is the firstborn, or my brother, who is the first son. I will not pay it.
Is it a must do in Nigeria?
This is the first time I'm actually hearing this sort of thing.
It's a cultural thing that she has to pay it.
Okay,
because he didn't pay it. Right? But I don't want to take that responsibility.
Is it a lot of money?
I don't care how much it is.
Yeah.
I just think
like,
even
that's people's business.
I know.
Like, what the hell? That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, I'm not going to pay for it.
That's
I'm
interesting.
sorry. God needs to understand why I am saying that. You know why? Because my father does not pay rent. He lives in a house I built for him. He has no kids he's feeding. He was in the army, he gets pension. So my father gets money from me. They said they needed about 500,000. My father literally gets about 150,000 every month. Right? He's not paying rent. He's not feeding anybody. He could be 50,000 for the 1 year they've been dragging this matter and raise that 500,000 and go pay that money. The other people that have been giving money, I've given people money. I'll give you 500,000, 1 million. Do this, which you do. So you people could have put money together and take care of this problem. You want me to bring out that money and still go take it? No, I would not. I am the last born. I can't pay my father's bride price or my mother's bride price.
The problem is that, see where I have a problem. When you start doing this on your Emeka, you are always giving, right? One thing that I've learned is, I'm the first child, but I was such a wahala child, sort of. So I'm always trying to impress my family. I'm always trying to do something nice. Like I'm trying to. But if you start, you have to see now they're asking him for bride price.
You keep doing it.
There's no stopping. So you have to create a boundary. Like, let them get comfortable to hear no from you. And to be honest, that's where I am now.
Oh my God.
My mother is currently not speaking to me. It hurts me, it breaks my heart because I and my mother were best friends.
Yeah.
But right now, I am trying to break something that is very unusual in my character to do. That I have stayed 3 months and I have not spoken to my mom on the phone like that. Like, that's all I talk about in therapy because it's bothering me.
Yeah.
But still, this family thing, and me, I'm the first child. You're the last. So imagine, I were 7. I'm the first of 7 children. So, and I have a child. I'm a single mom. So it's like you people want to choke me. And I'm in this country, paying rent, taking care of a child. And then, sister Chichi, I have 5 sisters. My mom will be calling me, hey.
It's self-entitlement. My brother, my older
My mom will
brother,
now be hollering.
my older brother has refused to work. He refused to take a job. So I have to avoid him embarrassing me, where he had to keep buying stuff on credit. I have to send him money. I have to put him on payroll.
To protect the family. And so that's why you find yourself doing. You'll be like, hey, this is now a cry
If I
for
don't do
help.
that, he will stress the old people. So I have to give him more. So he can use that money to drink his alcohol and
Why is it like this?
do whatever he wants to
But
do.
why is it like that?
It's
Why is it like
and
that?
there's
Like,
this
you know, so there's someone that I know too that is going to the guy's older brother. He's like, that one, hey, he will take care of that one. He did wedding. He paid for the brother's wedding that he used in marrying wife. He bought his brother car. The brother was sick because brother, because we need this for my child's dedication. We're doing baby dedication. You need to. I am inviting how many guests? You're telling someone you're a grown ass man that is in Nigeria that your hand is not broken. You're telling someone that is here that is hustling.
It's not funny.
all
but
the
it's
things that
crazy.
you
No, it is crazy.
and
But
you
nobody
crazy.
understands what we as immigrants
are
in this
going
country
through
we're going
mentally,
through.
financially,
Mentally,
physically, everything.
yes.
Yes,
Ha.
I love the fact that you said you've learned how to say no, because I had
I
that
had
conversation, and the ability to say no is what I'm super comfortable with right
Right.
now. So somebody asked me for something from Cameroon, I told them I cannot afford it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. I have to say that, because if I don't,
You have to.
then at some point, at some point in this country, we don't even have $100 in our bank account.
I
And if you tell them, they will not believe
Yeah.
you.
That you don't have $100.
There are times that you're broke
You know the funny thing?
because you're looking nice. You're
even
looking like this.
even if you are giving your parents, even if you're giving your parents or family member 1 million naira
They will not get
every
satisfied.
month, which
That's
is
what I'm trying to
$1,000.
say. There's no end.
$1,000, don't disturb me. They will come up with
Oga,
$2,000 problem.
Another problem.
Yes.
So what I did was I capped them on a certain amount. Whether I make $1 million that month, that is the money you are getting.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That is the money I'm getting. That is the money you're getting.
Wow.
Oh my
Whether I
God.
make, so even if I make $0, I'll know I can get that money from somewhere and still give to you.
You can't even call family
If-
and tell
if
them
I
they promoted
decide
you
to
and
increase
they
it-
gave you a raise because the eye will not be in your pocket.
raise
Like
their
I'm
own-
too scared to give testimony. Like tell, oh yeah, this is God
has blessed me
It's
with,
sad, but this is what we deal with here.
yeah.
Apart from the problems we face here
Yeah.
in America, the challenges, this is what we also deal with back at home.
yeah.
And before we leave, I just hope that first of all, for every person who is an immigrant coming here, have a plan
Yeah.
before you come. Have a plan. Plan.
That's a
Plan.
very-
A game plan before you come. Your game plan might not work, but at least you had one.
Yeah.
I had a plan. It eventually worked. It didn't work in the beginning. Have a plan before you come to America. Or before you go to any
Anywhere.
country,
Yeah.
have a plan. The second thing you need to have, in fact, that's the first thing. The first thing you need to have is not even a plan, sorry. The first thing you need to have is you don't even have to be a graduate. Forget certificate, though.
This
Yeah.
country,
Forget-
no. Certificate.
forget-
You like be a doctor, be
Go
a
and-
lawyer back home.
it
You
doesn't
become
matter.
you will still find yourself
Have a
wiping ass.
skill. I really do wish I was a mechanic.
Huh? You will be
I wish I was a
What?
mechanic.
or a plumber
Or
all
a
those kind
plumber
of things.
Yeah.
or electrician before I came to America. Have a skill. Once they give you that visa, go and learn something.
Yeah.
Don't get in the plane.
I wish I could braid hair.
Let me bust your head. God is so amazing. I will not even go into so much detail. Before I came to the country, my church had this initiative that they had created before I moved here. It was called Oxano Initiative. So it was like they brought people. They had like photography training, braiding, makeup, different thing, rug laying, and you graduate the best in class. They'll help you set up a business. So I'm very, very involved in my church. I'm a church girl. So yeah. So I said, what could I possibly? I want to take advantage of this opportunity, even though I don't need it. In my head, I've not gone to America, so I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let me just learn something. I'm a makeup artist. Let me just learn. I went. Guess what? I picked braiding. I had no idea.
That's what we say
I
in America.
had no clue.
That's
And it
what's
was in
saving
February that I went, January that I went to learn. I came in June.
Imagine she
and a
didn't
week
know
after I
how
came
to
to-
make hair.
A week after a month after I came, where did I first work?
Salon. So
So-
that's what I was saying.
Get a skill.
And that's why
It's not
it's my
school.
business
It's not
right
school.
now. I
Like,
haven't worked
have a
for anyone.
PhD, a doctorate in.
I haven't.
It won't work.
I haven't worked for anyone
Yeah.
since this year.
Right.
I have been paying my rent, feeding my son, taking care of myself
With
off
your
of
skills.
braiding. I decided to quit
Learn
my
walk.
job and focus
learn,
on it.
I don't know how to
Learn
say it.
how to
Learn
do
walk.
work.
Learn walk. Learn mechanic, electrician,
Electrician.
plumber,
Anything.
Barbing.
barbing. Me, God save me. I be filmmaker, so I can be cameraman.
Yes.
Because
You
even in
and I.
America, every weekend
You
there's
can
a
get a
party.
job.
There's a wedding.
Yes.
I can edit. So I can decide
Have
to
a
take my
skill.
cameras, go and shoot something. And guess what? Once you do for one person, that person go refer to another
I
person.
say,
Even if you're a
thanks to
photographer,
COVID, sef, now COVID now help me.
even if you're a photographer and they shoot Friday, you take picture, $300, $400. Saturday, you take picture, $300-$400. Sunday, you take three. So maybe in 1 weekend, you make 1.5 times 4 weekends. That's 6,000.
It's
a good
something.
start.
That's a good start.
I'm making more than the
Do
CNAs.
you know?
Yes.
Do you know? I wish I know plumbing work, electrician,
Just
or you see mechanic.
and now waiting I
regret.
want to do for my son. Like my son is 13. I want, even though he's going to go to college and all that
Yeah.
stuff, there's an age he's going to get to.
Let him
He
go
will
and learn
skills.
mechanic.
Yes.
Yes.
I already have
Mechanic.
one in mind. One guy that he's a Nigerian that who has a shop. I will just carry him there.
Go
And
and
it's
get a
small money.
skill.
Go and learn
See.
work there.
Summer holidays.
Yeah.
Call
Yes, well,
mechanic
just-
for this country. Not okay. I drive a brand new car, so
You're good for like
I'm
the next
good
10
for like
years.
the next 10. Before then, I go down.
Buy another
I go
one.
down. In fact, the two cars na brand new. So anytime that I go send them, go Range Rover, they go fix them. So I don't get problems. I know they see mechanic, but when I had the car I was driving before I bought my car, call mechanic. Just take your phone and call a mechanic. Don't ever buy an old car in this country. I go wound you. Call a mechanic. Just call a mechanic in this
I
country.
know. I started with an old car, so I understand.
Just call a mechanic. Make you call a mechanic when they don't like you. Those guys are making money. Could tell you before you put in machine now
Services.
$500.
$100.
Before you put the machine to
Machine.
tell you what's wrong, it's $500. Then you come put the machine, don't pay, you go tell you the problem, $500. You come and go tell you. So if you like, no fix.
Now you want
You don't
that.
already give her $500. Don't
Now
plug the
you
machine,
want
don't
them.
go. Mechanic. I could go to Nigeria and live for 2 years to learn mechanic and come back.
Do you understand?
No, you're laughing, but it's the truth. So before you come to this country, drop your certificate at home
Relax.
or your degree.
Just keep it.
Make sure
in the
you
background.
have
A skill.
a skill.
Very
It's a
important.
country of skills.
Yeah.
Very important.
And any skill you have, it will be a good start.
Helped me a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Any skill you have
helped me a
in
lot.
this country, it will be a great start for you. And if you're a mechanic, I'm shocked. Very good.
How important, and that's why I'm pushing my
You don't
son.
want to make all Nigerian mechanics
I don't
immigrate-
care. They will make
to
money.
migrate to the
My
US.
son that is here is going to go and learn mechanic. I'm telling you.
Mechanic,
I'm telling you, I've already planned
carpenter, bricklayer,
We don't call them those. We call
plumber.
them designer.
Do you know how much
Interior
carpenters
designer.
make in this country?
tailor.
Do you know how
Learn
much carpenters
something.
make here?
Learn
Carpenters.
something. Have a skill. This country will favor you. Then, if you don't have a
Yes.
skill, forget your degree. Go and learn IT. IT is the new T.
IT is the new T.
I am a filmmaker.
Did I ever tell you
work
that
for
I
a production
dabbled
company,
into-
but I'm learning.
I ran away.
I met AWS Skill
Yeah.
Center now. Imagine
I
a
ran away.
filmmaker go AWS.
He asked me like 50 questions in class that day.
Hey, bro.
I did to go and do cyber
This
security, but I
IT,
just
we die here.
Chukwuma's hand was always like, okay. I was like, okay, this Nigerian boy, what again?
Because I don't old. The thing that they enter, so I
Yes,
need to
money,
understand.
money don't block everything. Hustle.
And that day, when I walk go school, I dey vex. So I have a 2023 Range Rover, the black one.
Yeah.
Then my birthday this year, September 4. I said, God, don't let me do whatever. And I bought a 2024. That morning to go to school, the 2024 no green starts.
Okay.
So I was angry.
Oh yeah.
How can a car that is 2 weeks old who come on?
Yeah.
So I now drove the 2023 to school. I was just pissed. Like, what's
So
going
the
on?
book can't know
The book, no, they really, they enter. I would think, why this car don't come on? So I can't try to connect Range Rover with the car carrier. But eventually they came to carry the car. Now me press navigator.
It's in.
It drained the battery.
Wow.
The guy say, yo, you gotta try to always put this off, man. rude American guy.
Of course.
You gotta always try to put this off, man. I look at, I say, fuck out of here. So
Right.
the thing no enter. You know, but at the end of the day, that's me letting you know that I understand that what we need here now is skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
when you have the
Saved
skill,
my life.
you come here, it will be a safe landing.
And it
for
can give you freedom because
Yes.
I see so many people, they come in and they get into that work.
Yes.
They will not. My friend that has been here for 20 years, she's never been to Miami. She has never left this. The only Nigeria that she has gone to. Like, she comes and go back
She
to.
work.
She's a nurse, so you just gotta.
Greet am for me.
You
I know.
understand? So you having skill and being able to work for yourself gives you the opportunity to
the freedom to travel a
Yeah.
little bit around.
Don't come here and get into the system and get stuck.
So
and
yeah.
Yeah, so have a skill before you come. Then have a plan.
Yes.
Then, like my sister say, research. Use your phone.
Read.
Yeah.
Read.
Yeah.
Google is your friend.
I know.
Just go there.
There's
And that's the
help.
problem. We don't read. Ask, how can I? You will see them.
You'll find
You know,
it in there.
how can I get paper? How can I get social security?
Security.
How do I apply for social
Security.
security? How do I get a paper? How can I rent a house? Can I rent a house? Get a tax ID. If you never get social security, get a tax ID. My first house, I got it with a tax ID. I built my first credit with a tax ID. Get a tax ID. It's easy to get. Be the tax person. They'll get you a tax ID. America like people that pay tax.
Yeah.
So once you apply for a tax ID, I want to pay you people tax too, because I want the hustle.
They'll
You are
give you,
welcome.
yeah.
With a tax ID in this, then another mistake we make is know the state you need to go. An immigrant-friendly state.
Which is Maryland. I will stand
Maryland,
Maryland all
Washington
day
D.C.,
long.
Virginia.
DMV
You cannot be
is the
deported.
place. Yes,
You will
it's the
find
place.
help, especially the only way you get deported from Maryland.
If you commit a crime.
If you commit a crime. Or DC. If you commit, no immigration guy can harass you in the DMV. Don't come to America and,
And
you are
that's the
going
fear that they have.
to
Idaho.
Florida. You're going to
Miami.
Mississippi.
That's not immigrant-friendly country.
Yeah.
Come here, settle down, don't even go to Atlanta. It's not immigration-friendly.
Yeah.
California is. This is
California
safe
is,
haven for
yeah.
immigrants. California,
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas, Maryland, DC, Virginia. And
Delaware is also good.
Yeah, Dallas is good. These are
Yeah, Dallas is
countries
good, yeah.
where immigration is good.
Yeah.
Immigrants are finding
The
help.
laws favor
The law
the
favors
immigrants.
us as immigrants.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And you find your community.
Exactly.
Easy.
Come here, you will get help. It will be so when you don't get your socials, you got in your socials, you got in your papers, your work permit, and you can now decide to go and live in wherever you want to live. But don't come here and go and stay in Atlanta and go and stay in Mississippi or Florida because you want to be grooving. You won't find help there. That's. I hope somebody who's listening or somebody is trying to come here and find a life. We hope you've learned a thing or two. Like she said, look for your community, and you definitely see somebody who would help you. But before we leave, do you have something to say, Avira?
Well, it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare for this, but then I didn't know it was this freestyle. I love it. I had fun, but I also like the fact that we tell our stories.
Yeah.